Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining the webinar. It's good to see so many here today. My name is Ed Coveney, and I'm a technical sales consultant here at MGIS, and I'll be doing the webinar today. Before we get started, I'm just going to do some quick housekeeping. This webinar should run for about 30 minutes, and it will include a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So if you can please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screens. You can post any questions at any time, and I'll try and answer as many of them as possible at the end. But you can type those out at any point. There will also be a few polls that pop up during the webinar today. We kindly ask that you do complete those, but they're not obviously mandatory. So a quick look at the agenda for today's webinar. I will be introducing the new Skadi series from EOS Positioning Systems. But there will be a brief introduction to who MGIS are, as well, as I'm sure some of you will be familiar with us, but there might be a few who aren't. And we'll also do a brief one-slide explanation on the role of external GNSS as a standard. The bulk of the webinar will be on the Skadi series. Obviously, we'll go into each individual product, and then there'll be that Q&A session and additional information at the end of the webinar. So, quick introduction to who MGIS are. Like I said, some of you may be familiar with us already, but I'm sure some of you aren't. So, as to who we are, MGIS are an independent consultancy focused on geospatial solutions. Our mission is to support smarter decision-making by leveraging the latest advancements in geospatial technology. Our approach for this involves integrating leading-edge geospatial tools and services. By bringing these technologies together, we help our clients streamline their workflows and gain deeper data-informed insights. So these tools and services can include industry-leading geospatial software, industry-leading high-precision global navigation satellite systems, also known as GNSS, innovative and emerging data services such as ordnance survey mapping products, and obviously today we'll be focusing on the high-precision GNSS element of that. You can see on that diagram there the list of partners that we work with to ensure our customers get the greatest geospatial technology. And the middle one, EOS Positioning Services, will be the focus of today's webinar. Very briefly again, just a small list of the familiar organizations that we are proud to support. We work with a wide range of customers across the utility, infrastructure, environmental and government sectors. So from national asset owners and utility providers to local authorities and infrastructure delivery alliances, we have a wide range of customers amongst all of them. So like I did say in the opening agenda, we're just going to very, very briefly talk about what an external GNSS receiver is. As I'm sure there are a few who aren't familiar with it, and why it's an important tool for mobile data collection. So most smartphones and tablets do already come in with a built-in GPS chip, but these are designed primarily for everyday use like navigation or tagging of photos. Their typical accuracy ranges from 5 to 15 meters, which simply isn't sufficient for high precision tasks like mapping, surveying or asset data collection. So this is where the external GNSS receiver comes in, and the like of which is the Skadi series. It will connect to your mobile device via Bluetooth using multi-constellation and multi-frequency signals. It will deliver significantly greater positional accuracy, often down to centimeter level precision. Once connected, that external receiver overrides the internal GPS on your phone and tablet, and it feeds that much higher accuracy location data directly into your mobile applications. So whether you're using a mapping tool, survey software, or asset management system, you can reap the rewards of that high precision GPS location. So that brings us nicely on to EOS Positioning Systems and the new Skadi series. EOS Positioning Systems is a global leader in high accuracy GNSS solutions, and MGIS are proud to be their exclusive distributor for the UK and Ireland. The Skadi series represents the latest generation of cutting-edge, high-precision GNSS technology, And while we are excited to launch the new range of receivers, it is important to note as well that the well-established and trusted Arrow series will continue to be a part of the product offering from EOS and MGIS. The Skadi lineup is designed to complement the Arrow families at this time. There are 4 individual receivers in the Skadi series, and they are listed in obviously on that slide: the 100, the 200, the 300, and the Skadi Gold. Each has been developed to meet varying levels of accuracy, functionality, and budget. Today, we'll focus primarily on the Skadi 100 and the Skadi 300, with a brief mention of the Skadi Gold. It's these models that best reflect the current demand and challenges of the UK market, so that's why we'll focus on those. I am just going to launch our first poll of the webinar. We've only got 2 scheduled in. It's just to get your experience and current usage of GNSS at the organisations that you work with. So that's going to pop up on your screen there. And it's a very simple single choice question. If you can just select which of those is most relevant to your organisation at the moment, whether you don't use GNSS, whether you've used EOS products in the past, like the Arrow series, or whether you use other types of GNSS receivers. So please just fill that out. I'll give everyone an extra 10 seconds, and then we'll move on. Okay, perfect. Thanks for answering that. Most obviously on the call, unsurprisingly, do use GNSS, so that's good to see. So we'll move on to the individual products now. The Skadi 100 delivers sub-meter accuracy using SBAS, and this means users can achieve reliable and high accuracy positioning without the complexity or cost associated with RTK equipment. Essentially, the receiver is a one-off cost, and that sub-meter accuracy is ideal for a variety of applications where high precision is needed, but not necessarily centimeter level RTK. So it makes it a great fit for asset mapping, environmental monitoring, and general GIS data collection. Designed with user friendliness in mind, the Skadi 100 is accessible to a wide range of professionals, from field technicians to environmental specialists. Even those without prior GNSS knowledge or experience, it can be a very useful tool. It's a single button receiver, so it's simply turn on and turn off, which again makes it a lot less intimidating. And because it connects externally via Bluetooth, the receiver is hardware agnostic. So this means you can pair this with iOS, Android, and Windows tablets or phones, whichever suits your existing workflow. And just as important, the Skadi series doesn't restrict you to a single data collection app. You can use virtually any software that accepts external GNSS input, and that can range from Esri in terms of ArcGIS field maps and Survey 123, QField, the likes of Fulcrum, and many more industry-specific ones as well. Very briefly, to mention its predecessor, the Arrow 100, the Skadi is designed in a slightly different way, in which it is an all-in-one hard case design. So unlike the older model, there is no reliance on external cables, and the Skadi 100 is fully self-contained, enhancing and it enhances the durability and ease of use without sacrificing performance. The second big difference is that what you can see in that photo is the handheld setup that comes as standard. So the Skadi 100 comes with a lightweight, ergonomic standard handle, offering a ready-to-go handheld solution straight out of the case. That's quite new for EOS, that is. But it still offers a lot of flexibility, so that Skadi 100 will come off the top of the handle, and you can still configure it for pole or backpack use, depending on what's best suited for your fieldwork requirements. And there's an example of, it's actually a Skadi 300, but it's on top of a backpack there, and that leaves the hands free for data collection with the mobile tablet. So it's whatever's best suited to your organization. Moving on to the Skadi 300, it is the next generation equivalent of the Arrow Gold, built specifically for use with RTK correction services. It will deliver centimeter level accuracy in demanding field conditions. When connected to an RTK service, The Skadi 300 provides exceptional positioning accuracy, making it an ideal choice for applications where precision truly matters. And this will mean it's useful in utility mapping, engineering surveys, construction and infrastructure projects, and for users who might potentially go outside the UK, the Skadi 300 is also compatible with the Atlas satellite correction service. And this can enable high accuracy positioning even outside of the UK, where access to RTK networks might not be possible. And you can see there, they can still get up to 4 centimeter level accuracy with that. EOS have continued to enhance its safe RTK feature. This is a technology that allows the receiver to maintain centimeter level accuracy even during temporary RTK signal interruptions, ensuring consistent performance even in challenging environments. Like the Skadi 100, the 300 is fully hardware and software agnostic. So it connects via Bluetooth and integrates with the same apps I've mentioned before and the same range of devices, all iOS, Android and Windows devices. Where the Skadi really comes into its own though is with the 2 enhancements that you see at the bottom of the screen. And they are the Skadi Tilt Compensation and the Skadi Smart Handle. And we'll go into those in more detail just now. And we'll start with the Skadi Tilt Compensation. It's definitely one of the standout features for the Skadi 300 and the Skadi Gold. With it, it will allow your field teams to collect data without needing to level the pole, the survey pole. Your teams can therefore work faster, more accurately, and more consistently, and you still get to have the RTK level of accuracy that you expect, even on uneven terrain or awkward positions. What really sets it apart is the accuracy of the tilt compensation. So it only introduces a 0.3 millimeter of error per degree of tilt. And that's incredibly precise and significantly better than what's open on the market with other solutions. So to give that some sort of practical context, really, if you have a slight 10-degree angle when you're collecting a point, you're only introducing an extra 3 millimeters of error. It sounds like this will introduce less accurate data, but by eliminating the need for manual leveling, the Skadi tilt compensation also removes the variability and inconsistency introduced by humans and human error when using the traditional bubble leveled method. So what you get in return then is a much more faster and more consistent means of collecting data. And you don't have to compromise on performance to get that. And I'm going to give you a little example of that in a video of one of my colleagues collecting a point, and you can see how fast and he can use this Skadi 300 to collect information. He's using the Esri Field Maps app there, where you can see at the top the level of accuracy is getting about 1.7 centimeters. He's got even with a tilt there, he's collected that point information very quickly, and he hasn't had to wait or try and level the bubble. So we're going to move on to the other key enhancement that I mentioned at the start of this, the Skadi 300 part. It's one of the most powerful and flexible accessories in the Skadi series, and that is the Skadi Smart Handle. It's got an inbuilt single point LiDAR sensor that has a green visible dot beam, so you know where you're pointing the Smart Handle, and it has a range of 7 meters. So the handle transforms the receiver into a compact all-in-one handheld solution. And what really sets it apart with the LiDAR sensor is the ability to offset a GNSS position from the physical location of the receiver to anywhere within a 7-meter range of yourself. And that's in the 3D environment. This is incredibly useful for capturing assets that are obstructed, unsafe, or simply out of reach. It's also ideal for mapping linear features as well, such as fences, pipelines, or road center lines, or assets on roads, where the offsetting can help define accurate set shapes and positions without needing to physically walk the entire feature. It's lightweight, rugged, and ergonomically designed, and it's perfect for fast-moving crews or mobile workflows. But most importantly, it represents a major leap forward in GNSS technology, combining high-accuracy positioning with integrated 3D offsetting in a way that's never been done before. So this makes the Skadi not just efficient, but genuinely innovative and market-leading. It's something that sets a new standard for what is possible in mobile data collection. It makes GNSS data collection smarter, safer, and ultimately more efficient. And we're going to see it in action again here with a few videos. The first one will just be transitioning from the standard survey pole. So what my colleague here, Sam, is doing is taking off the Skadi 300, then removing the battery. He's then placing the Skadi onto the smart handle and then sliding the battery into the bottom of the smart handle. And he's ready to go. There's no necessary changes that have to be made on the software either. So he's good to go surveying straight after that. And then we'll see that surveying in action now with another video. So we're looking at point features here. Sam's about to survey a manhole through an inaccessible fence that's put up as a barrier to him. Simply by tilting the smart handle, he's using the green laser beam to center on the manhole, and then he's relaxing once he's collected that position and filling out the additional information that's required for his workflow. So again, you don't have to hold that pose that you're doing to access the GNSS location. You can just relax at that point and fill out your information as normal. So another use case here is they're trying to do a manhole that's on a road and restricted by a parked car. Someone's blocked that. Again, he's captured the location using the tilt and the green laser beam that comes out of the bottom of the Skadi 300. And he's filled out his information and he's moved on. So I'm really hoping that shows the efficiency and the ability to speed up workflows that comes with the smart handle. And it's not just point features as well, it is linear collection. So this can be very, very powerful when it comes to linear assets as well, whether it's exposed trench or, like I said, working on roads. What you can do here is he's collected a point at the beginning of the linear feature, walking to the edge there, and you'll see it line up with the base map in the background. Shoot the next vertex along the line, relax again, and then fill out the information and submit the linear feature. Obviously, you can continue to do that linear feature for as long as he likes. So again, it really speeds up the workflow, and it's going to be, I think, game-changing in areas such as exposed trench lines and things like that, where it's not safe to try and get a survey pole on top of that asset, but also to try and accurately use the bubble on that range pole at the same time. It becomes very tricky. So it really speeds up and it makes it safer for the user as well. So we'll move on to I did say we'll briefly mention the Skadi Gold. So the Gold has all the functionality of the 300, but it is also one of the very few GNSS receivers on the market that is HAS enabled. And HAS stands for High Accuracy Service. It is a free global satellite-based positioning service developed by the European Space Agency, and it launched in 2023. It provides a precise correction service to your GNSS, offering horizontal accuracy of less than 20 centimeters. The benefit of this is that it would release you from the need for a commercial RTK correction service and the costs associated with it. You do have to be happy with that level of accuracy, around 20 centimeters. But if you are, or you are using it worldwide again, then it becomes a great service to have and a great receiver to have. HAS is still in its rollout phase at the moment. So while you can get that level of accuracy now with the Skadi Gold, there is a slightly longer convergence time to get down to that 20 centimeters. But this will improve over time, and so will obviously the use case for the Skadi Gold with it. So I'm going to launch our second poll quickly, and it's just going to focus on those three receivers that we talked about. And I just want to get your feel for which of those mentioned would most likely be of interest to your organization. depending on the level of accuracy you might be looking for or the industry that you work in. So again, I'll give you an extra 10 seconds there to fill that out, and then we'll move on. Okay, perfect. Thanks for that, everyone. Yeah, good to see. Probably like I was kind of expecting a mixture there between the 100 and the 300, and we do expect those to be the most appropriate for the UK market. So at MGIS, we pride ourselves on not just being a distributor of EOS products. We do want to support your organisations and making sure that they get the most out of the products they purchase from that. So MGIS do offer a lot of additional services on top. That can be training, whether it's virtual onboarding sessions along with purchase or on-site training days if necessary. We offer support contracts, which means you have access to our support line and email address throughout the year. And we can therefore give you access to our professional services team to sort out any issues you might be having. And lastly on that list there is the warranty extensions. So EOS products do come with a 2-year standard warranty, but you can also purchase additional years through MGIS if that's something that your organisation values. Yeah. So it's good also to have a quote there about our support services from one of our customers as well. And lastly, before I answer Q&A, I will just wrap up with some offerings that we can offer at the moment. So the first one on there, as you can see, is we are going to do a 20% offer on all Skadi receivers as the introductory May offer for the new series of products. So it will last all of May, and like I said, it will apply to all the 3 products that you saw today. We're going to include prices on our follow-up email, which will give you a recording of this webinar, and we'll also put in writing there the individual costs for each 3 receivers that we talked about today. If you need to contact us, if you've got a burning urgency to contact us right now, you absolutely can. You can email myself at ed@mgis.co.uk, or you can email sales@mgis.co.uk, and we'll obviously answer any additional questions about price or use case or anything like that. I'll be more than happy to help with that. But like I said, you'll all get a copy of that follow-up email anyway. Any additional information about MGIS or the products that have been mentioned today, you can go to our website. And we will also be attending and having a stall at 2 big geospatial events coming up. The first of which is Esri UK, which is on May the 13th. We will have a stand there, as well as the EOS team as well will have a stand there. So you can come up to either of those stands and have a chat with us about the Skadi series. We'll be more than happy to have a demo or talk you through whatever questions you have. And likewise, MGIS will be at the Geo Business at the beginning of June as well. So yeah, best of it. Really, if you like the look of anything that you've seen today, is to really get in contact with us, because this May offer is a great offer. So I'm going to go on to Q&A now and see what questions people have posted, and I will do my best to answer as many of those as possible, conscious that we've got a little bit more time, so I will absolutely get started with those. Someone has asked, is the Skadi 300 the equivalent of the Aero Gold? So that is true. It is the equivalent of the Aero Gold. It's slightly different naming convention, but the like-for-like equivalent would be the Aero Gold. Yes, yeah, that's correct. Somebody has asked about SBAS. So that's obviously the free correction service that you can make use of with the Skadi 100. So that is a free service, yes, that gets you down to sub-meter accuracy, typically 40 to 60 centimeters with the Skadi. And you don't have to pay for that. And that's why we like to say that the Skadi 100 is at the lower end of the budget, but it's a one-off cost as well. So that's why it's making use of that free service. Do I need an app for the Smart Handle? So with all EOS receivers, we do obviously recommend the use of a GNSS monitoring app called EOS Tools Pro. And that's a free downloadable app that just connects the Skadi receiver to your smartphone. It's applicable even without the smart handle, so you can use it for all EOS products. Basically, you use that app. So there's not an additional app on top of that you would need for the smart handle. So a question, does your solution external GNSS work beyond the UK? So yes, you have to be careful. So the two, all receivers will work outside the UK. That's the first thing to say. It all comes down to accuracy and correction services that you work with. So this example in this question is Sub-Saharan Africa. Well, that's absolutely true. You can use the Skadi 300 with an Atlas subscription. That's absolutely possible. That was the 4 centimeter level accuracy option that we saw on the slide. You may also be interested in the Skadi Gold, where you can maybe make use of the HAS service, and that is applicable outside as well. The Skadi 100 will also work outside the UK, but you just might not get SBAS in Sub-Saharan Africa, so therefore the accuracy might go above a meter. It all depends on what receiver and what level of accuracy you would like to use. The subscription costs, there are no out-and-out subscriptions costs for the Skadi. They are all sold as hardware units. If you are going to subscribe to a correction service on top of that, then there is a cost associated with that, and I'll be happy to share that with you through the usual channels of me reaching out via email. But that is not necessarily an EOS product at the moment. There are no subscription costs exclusively to the hardware that's being mentioned in this webinar. So we've got a number of users asking about the use of work in heavily wooded areas, and is the new technology likely to improve accuracy in such areas? So the accuracy levels we've talked about, 4 to 6. Obviously, all GNSS has some challenge amongst heavily dense woodland, but the new technology is designed to really enhance the likelihood of maintaining signal or satellite signal. And we've talked about some of the other technologies that can be used. So if you're using things like tilt compensation, then suddenly you don't have to, you can maybe position yourselves a bit further away from a particular tree to offset the location. So you can use the things like smart handle and tilt compensation in those ways. If you're using the Arrow 100, you can also likely use the handheld solution, or you can use a pole mounted solution. Handheld solution is a little bit more accessible in heavily dense areas rather than carrying like a 2 meter range pole. So it gives you a bit more maneuverability in heavily wooded areas as well. And then the last question I've got here, it's a couple more, sorry, is does it work with Esri field maps? Yes, absolutely. All the Skadi products that I've mentioned there will work with field maps. All of the Esri data collection apps, whether that's Survey 123, Quick Capture, they'll all work with the Skadi, and they're purposely built to work and designed to work with Esri field data collection apps. How heavy is the device and the smart handle combined? That's a great question, and I will actually have to find that out for you in terms of the actual weight. I will pass that on in a specific email because I don't have those with me right now in terms of the weight. And then the last question is, I will reach out to whoever wrote that question, by the way, and let you give you the details for the weight. The trial, is there a possibility to try? We do hires of equipment, GNSS equipment, so it is absolutely possible where you might want to test the Skadi for a week or two. We'd be more than happy to try and facilitate a hire period. Obviously, that gives you the ability to make sure it works in your environment and gives you the confidence before you go ahead with the full purchase. So we'll absolutely provide some higher costs at the same time, and obviously, more than happy to work with customers to get the right period of time that works for them to really trial the technology. So I'll absolutely try and do that. Yeah. And I think that wraps it up, and it's about 12 o'clock as well. If I've missed any questions, I will follow up personally via email. So I will absolutely get that information to you. But apart from that, yeah, thanks very much for joining the webinar. I hope it's been useful. And like I said, if you are at any of those conventions in the next few months, please do come and say hello. It'd be great to have a chat. So thanks very much. Yes, we'll send out that recording and pricing email very shortly. Thank you very much. Bye.